guys, and welcome to a new episode of the Football Show. Today we're going to talk about this weekend's knockout second leg of the Champions League games, last 16. Sorry, I was busy kind of yesterday, so that's why I didn't make the video. But yeah, let's get started. Let's talk about the Champions League, as it was a thrilling weekend in the Champions League. First, let's start with Sporting Lisbon against Bodo Glimt. Sporting Lisbon was an amazing comeback, beating Bodo Glimt 5-0 as they go through to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. First of all, just because Bodo Glimt lost 5-0 in this game and they throw away a 3-goal lead, this doesn't, underestimate how brilliant of a job they've done in this year's Champions League, how well they've made, big teams like Inter, Atleti, Man City look stupid, and they've done amazing well this year. So yes, maybe it's a game. Maybe they should have went through the quarterfinals, but they put in a great journey. They put in a fantastic underdog story, and they've been amazing in the Champions League this season. So you don't take anything away from this result of Sporting Lisbon, because it's the Champions League. Even though if you're on a high, you could be easily knocked out. But Sporting Lisbon, great comeback by them. They got the third goal from Luis Suarez, the other Luis Suarez, 78th minute, the penalty. And as soon as the extra time started really, really quickly, they got the fourth goal from Maximiliano Arejo. And then it held them after that as they scored the fifth goal, the winning goal from Rafael Neal, and they won the game quite comfortably at the end. So spoil them to Sporting Lisbon, and they go through to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Chelsea against PSG. PSG won 3-0 with goals from Kvaratskhelia, Barcola and Mailu. I mean, this wasn't even a contest. This wasn't even a fight, if I'm being very honest. PSG absolutely wiped the floor of Chelsea. PSG deserved to win. And yeah, defensively, Chelsea were all over the place. I thought they had some good chances in some periods of the game, but you look at the third goal. I mean, the PSG scores Saint Milo. I mean, fantastic goal, amazing goal, fantastic goal. Barcola, brilliant goal, amazing. So yeah, this Chelsea side, there was no hope for them to come back against this PSG side. And PSG, they're slightly but surely starting to get back to their best. I wouldn't say they're back to their best yet, because I felt like they conceded some chances, and against Chelsea, even at the 1-5-2, for some periods of the game, Chelsea were there. They were drawing 2-2. So, as much as PSG won 8-2, and I think they're starting to get back to their best, I want to see more of PSG's performances like that, if to be really fully convinced they're able to win the Champions League, and despite not being very good at the 70% of the season, start of the season, last season, as they did as well, because this PSG side is not this season. I don't think is as good as last season, in my opinion. So let's see. But PSG, fantastic win, and we're not even talking about Ousmane Dembele. He didn't have his best game, and they still, that's how good they are. They, even if one of their top players is not stepping up, they have other players to step up. That's how good PSG are. That's why they're successful. They've been successful in the last 18 months. They play as a team, and they can score from different players, and they're a well-drilled, fantastic team. So yeah, they're through to the quarterfinals, and they deserve it. And like I said, it wasn't even a fight. But Chelsea, I mean, they got really punished brutally in the first 15 minutes. 2 goals from Barcola and Kvaratskhelia, and then after that there's no way back, especially when you're trying to come back. So yeah, I mean, I saw an 84th minute, 85th minute Liam Rosino trying to give notes to Garnacho, where they were losing 3-0 and they were losing 8-2 on aggregate. I mean, is that really needed? Is that really needed? Let's be honest, is that really needed? I don't think so. Because, yes, you don't want to concede any more goals, but this doesn't need notes. You just tell the players, hey, just you go in there, you're going there, you're going there. we don't lose any more goals, and that's it. We go home. Give me a break. So I don't know why you've seen it. A lot of the times he has to do it by like a imagination way. The huddle thing and the notes thing, I really don't get it. But yeah, the huddle thing and the notes things go out the window in these kind of big games in Champions League as they go through to the quarterfinals. As they get knocked out of the Champions League, and PSG go through to the quarterfinals. Real Madrid also go through to the quarterfinals of the Champions League as they beat Manchester City 2-1. I found the first 20 minutes Manchester City started the game really well. They were on the front foot. They were looking really good. They were causing problems for Real Madrid. And then after that, the red card, I don't know, but also I thought he was the goalkeeper or something. Yes, Vinicius was going to score, but you don't put your hands, mate. And he got City in trouble after that with the red card. And when you try to make a comeback against Real Madrid with 10 men, it's almost impossible. Vinicius scores from the penalty spot, 1-0, and it was that's it, game over. Erling Haaland scored though before a couple of minutes before half time, 1-1 from Erling Haaland, 1-1. And then the second half, Real Madrid, I thought they looked very, very good. They could have scored more, in my opinion. You could also give credit to City because they showed a good fight to some extent, despite they were down 10 men. But still, I think Real Madrid were in a position when they were we're winning 4-1 on aggregate. We don't really have to, put all the adrenaline, all the energy, and Real Madrid managed the game really, really well after that. They scored towards the end from Vinicius Junior, which I think should have been offside in my opinion, but that goal didn't matter much because even if we didn't score, that would have been 1-1. And Real Madrid go through to the quarterfinals. And what you have to give credit to this Real Madrid side is that they have played. Even if they don't have some of their best players like Bellingham and Mbappe in this game, they can step up from other top players. That's why Real Madrid have been successful for many years in the Champions League. Is that they have players who can step up all around the pitch. Like for example against Bayern, I remember Vinicius and Bellingham and Rodrigo were not at their best 2 years against the semi-final, and Jesus stepped up for them. So, and obviously the history, the heritage they have in the Champions League, that gives them motivation and help to to even win more, to think we've done it before, we can do it again, which other clubs don't have it as Real Madrid do in the Champions League. So people say Arbeloa has done a fantastic job. Listen, he's beating Mourinho and Guardiola, so he must be something genius. But at the same time, you have to give credit to some extent for the tactical things he did during the game. For example, in the first leg in the Champions League, where he brought in two players in terms of height, small players to mark Erling Haaland, and Erling Haaland is not good at set pieces. So you have to give him credit as well, Arbeloa, but you also have to give credit to the players because they really, really stepped it up for Real Madrid, and they deserve to go through to the quarterfinals. And yes, maybe they got a bit lucky with the red card. First 20 minutes, Man City were looking very strong, but this is something that Real Madrid cannot control. So and they go through to the quarterfinals. As for Manchester City, they are the Champions League. It's going to be difficult for them to win the Premier League. They're now 9 points behind Arsenal. They have two competitions. They have the big one, the final on Sunday against Arsenal in the Carabao Cup, and then they obviously got the FA Cup. Obviously, they can win the Carabao Cup, even though they're not as strong as Arsenal. If you look at as a team, I think Arsenal are a better team than Man City right now. But obviously, in a one-off game, anything can happen. In a one-off game, anything can happen. This kind of better form goes out the window. At Wembley Cup final, anything can happen. And City have a chance. They've got top quality players as well, all around the pitch, even though they're not the same team as before. So, and they've got the FA Cup as well, where I expect them to beat Liverpool at home. Then, if they play Chelsea, I expect them to beat Chelsea. I think the only team might stop them from winning the FA Cup is Arsenal. I'm being very honest, because I don't trust this Chelsea side to stop them from winning the FA Cup. And Liverpool, no, really. So, yeah, particularly City are at home against them as well. So, yeah, but obviously FA Cup is anything can happen. It's a one-off game. Like we saw them lose to Crystal Palace in the FA Cup final last season. So, anything can happen. But City, yeah, I mean, let's be honest, the damage was done in the first leg. So for some City fans to say, oh, the reason we got knocked out was because of the red card in the first 20 minutes. I mean, the damage was done in the first leg. Let's be honest. So, yeah, City put themselves in that situation, if I'm being very honest. So, yeah. Arsenal will go through to the quarterfinals also as they beat Bayer Leverkusen 2-0. Goals from Declan Rice and Eberechi Eze with a stunner. Fantastic goal, and then a second goal from Declan Rice. Arsenal, they did their job brilliantly. It was a professional job. They could have even scored more, 5 or 6. They had something like 12 shots on target. They were really dominant, and they could have scored more. I'm pretty sure the people who like to say Arsenal like to score from set pieces and they don't like to score from open play would have watched this game and said, no, it's completely opposite. Because Arsenal scored 2 goals from open play, and it could have easily scored from more than 2 goals, and the same thing against Everton as well. So, yeah, brilliant job for Arsenal, and they go through to the quarterfinals of the Champions League, and they're looking very, very strong right now. Obviously, it's very important for them to qualify, to go through to the quarterfinals, especially to avoid any kind of upsets against Bayer Leverkusen, and also to keep the confidence and the belief in terms of winning before they play the final against City on Sunday. So, yeah, they are in a very good shape right now. They are probably the best team in the world, in Europe right now, or maybe one of the best teams in Europe right now in terms of form, in terms of how well they're playing. They're one of the best teams, that's for sure, and for sure they're one of the big contenders to win the Champions League. And they're going to play against. We're going to talk about the fixtures after that. So, yeah, but they're going to play against Sporting Lisbon. Yesterday, Barcelona smashed Newcastle 7-2. Wow, Barcelona were absolutely on fire. I mean, I have to say, in the first half, it was quite competitive between Barcelona and Newcastle. It was kind of back and forth. Barcelona were going forward, and then defensively, they were very, very shaky. And same thing as Newcastle. It was kind of like a FIFA game in the first half. Barcelona took the lead, and then Alanga equalized. Bernal lead again, and then Alanga equalized again, 2-2. And Lemina scored the penalty before half time. But as soon as Fermin Lopez scored that 4th goal in the 51st minute, after that, Barcelona absolutely destroyed Newcastle, and they gave them no chance. And I have to say, Newcastle defensively were absolutely outclassed by Barcelona. Lewandowski was absolutely on the top of his game, 2 goals. Rafinha, brilliant from him once again, absolutely lethal. And yeah, it was an outclass from Barcelona against Newcastle. Barcelona outclassed Newcastle basically. So, and going forward, Barcelona once again were ruthless in front of goal. They won 7-2. And they won 8-3 on aggregate. I mean, maybe Newcastle would have liked to avoid losing 7 goals, but this Barcelona side, especially going forward, they are such a dangerous team to play against. If only they were so good defensively and they didn't have the issues they have defensively, I think they would have a great chance of winning the Champions League with the way they're playing, going forward especially. But because this kind of defensive mishaps they have, it might stop them from winning the Champions League, just like last season. So, yeah. But brilliant for Barcelona, absolutely fantastic.